Hey guys, Andrew Knight here. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about if we think that Tesla can last the long haul, if they can stick in here and compete with these companies that have been around for decades, and if they really just have what it takes. So let's get into it. So I think a few things that Tesla have going against it that would probably hurt them and make them fail is the first thing is this Musk time. Elon Musk is constantly delayed, and we've seen it time and time again. There was the Model 3 delivery and going through production hell where they had to push back the deliveries of that. Then there's been the Tesla Semi and the Roadster. Both of them were announced in 2017, and now they've been pushed back into 2021, maybe with COVID. We know that there's been delays, but they really haven't even talked tons about them. The semi-truck was originally supposed to be going off the assembly line in 2019 with 100,000 in 2022. But right now, it's just part of this huge grand scheme of things that Musk has planned in 2021. So we'll really see what happens with that. The last thing is self-driving. This is the other thing that's constantly been delayed. Musk tweeted a little bit ago about how we're going to have full self-driving and it's going to be released to everyone at the end of 2020. Well, 2020 has come and gone, and there's no full self-driving for everyone available yet. Again, we know this is sort of the same with the Roadster and with the Semi. We know that COVID has thrown a loop in some of this and has caused some problems, but still, like working from home, this has been delayed so long from what Elon has said. So it's just really interesting, this Musk time. We have other car companies who, yes, get delayed. Again, COVID's really delayed a lot of people, but they're much more focused. You know, you really just see them. They don't announce things years and years beforehand. Like right now, again, if we're talking about the Semi and the Roadster, those were announced 3 years ago. Before they're released, it'll be 4 or 5 years that they were announced. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if both of those got pushed back to 2022. And you just don't see that with other car companies. Now, this does create a bunch of hype for the products, and that is awesome. I mean, going back to the original Model S that was announced years before, and we are seeing, you have concept cars, and we're seeing things with Rivian, the Mustang Mach-E. Things are announced a while before, but again, we don't have these delays as much. Musk seems to go and be like, hey, we're gonna go, I'm gonna promise you this, and it's just constantly delayed. So I think this is a big factor to think about, like, hey, how long can they last? How long are people gonna be okay with this? Another thing to think through is how they're just so overvalued as a company. As of filming this, their market cap is $668.91 billion, which is insane. It's huge. Like, such a large market cap, so much bigger than all of these other car manufacturers, while their actual car production and profit is not that great. They're really shooting for, at the end of 2020, to have 500,000 cars made and delivered, and they might make it. We'll be finding out here soon if they actually do achieve that goal. However, 500,000 is not that much, is not that many cars. Ford made 5.4 million cars in 2019 alone. I mean, that is insane how many more cars other car manufacturers are making compared to Tesla. And again, they're starting small and going big, but it's just really interesting to see, like, why is this company being so highly valued on the stock market when their profit, how many cars they actually produce, is not all that much. In Q3 of 2020, they had made $331 million, which is a lot, but again, just sort of pales in comparison to what some of these other car companies are making. I think so much of this value comes from how much value people put in the potential future growth of Tesla. And I think this is most seen in the full self-driving. Right now, to get the full self-driving package is an extra $10,000 that Tesla is charging, which is just an insane amount of money for something that really hasn't fully developed. However, they're promising so much with it. And so Tesla values it so much, and obviously tons of people are buying the full self-driving package as well, so other people value it as well. However, if you look at the Kelley Blue Book, if you spec out the same exact car and the only differences that you take are self-driving and taking that away, it really only adds about a value of $1,400, at least when I did it, for your resale value of the car. So it's really interesting that Tesla's charging you $10,000 for this when in reality, sort of the market value of what at least Kelley Blue Book is saying is that's only $1,400. So again, I think there's this inherent what people really value behind it and what they think and what Tesla thinks their product is worth. But I think there is this disconnect of, people are obviously willing to pay so much for their stock and there's so much value in this. But really, are they holding up to this? When the rubber meets the road, are they actually able to produce this amount and live up to that potential growth? The last thing that sort of makes me wonder if Tesla will fail and be able to last the long haul is too much of it tied to Elon Musk. He is just an amazing, amazing salesman, and people so much just look at Tesla for him. I mean, he tweets so much. His stock literally will rise and fall based off of his Twitter posts. And I think it's really interesting to tell what is going to happen when Elon Musk is no longer at the reins of the company, whether that be just he decides to pass along the reins or he passes from us. I think that's an interesting thing to think about. Is the company too tied with him? And I know we've seen other companies, I think Apple and Steve Jobs is the perfect example in comparison. Obviously, a lot of people were worried what's going to happen when Steve Jobs dies and what's going to go on with that and with Apple, and will Apple be able to continue on as a company, and will they lose their innovation? And yes, they haven't been able to continue on as a company. You can still buy iPhones today. You can definitely argue if they've lost their innovation and some of what makes them Apple, but that is not for this video. But I think there is a question what's going to happen if Elon Musk got hit by a bus tomorrow? What would happen to Tesla? And obviously, I don't know what's happening with the inner workings about succession plans, but I think it's fair to say what is the potential growth when you have a company that's so tied into Elon and into what he has done? And I think he's been able to market up so much of this growth, this passion, so it's an amazing fan base. However, if all of that's tied to a person, what happens when that person is no longer there? Now, with all of this being said, with sort of these three things about questioning what Tesla will be able to do and will they be able to last long term, I think they have things that are amazingly in their favor. Without a doubt, they have pioneered electric cars. Elon Musk has created this amazing, amazing fan base behind Teslas, and people love them through all of their problems, stuff that I haven't even really talked about some supply problems, servicing, quality control issues. People have stuck with Tesla through all of this. I mean, I think it's interesting to say that is a very powerful thing that as long as that can continue to happen, I would definitely say Tesla can survive and continue on for a long period of time. And then if you just look at their product, there have definitely been some manufacturing problems and quality control that takes a hit. However, people continue to choose that over any other electric car option. I mean, that's because what Tesla offers, and specifically their range and the supercharging network, is unmatched and unparalleled. No one has come close to these. You can look at other car comparisons and cars just don't hit this range. The Model S has a 400-mile range, and the supercharging network is just so vast and expansive that really no other car can compare to that. And I think that's just huge competitor that if you fast forward and looking at the direction of where we're going with cars and electrification, it's really amazing to see. And I would say that makes me really believe that, hey, Tesla has this fighting chance. So I don't know, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Tesla is gonna blast for maybe 5-10 more years and then fade away? Do you think it has what it takes to be a car manufacturer legacy like Ford, GM, and some of these other car companies? It'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to follow along in their story. I hope you are too. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.